I still remember the day Victoria, my sister-in-law, first saw my beach house. Her eyes lit up with that particular gleam I'd come to recognize, the one that meant trouble was brewing. I'm Emma Anderson, 34, and this is how my dream vacation home became the center of an outrageous family drama. Oh my God, Emma. This place is absolutely perfect. Victoria squealed, spinning around in my newly renovated living room. The floor-to-ceiling windows offered a stunning view of the Pacific, and the modern coastal decor I'd carefully selected created exactly the peaceful atmosphere I'd always wanted. I should mention that I'd worked incredibly hard for this place. After my parents passed away in a car accident when I was 25, I'd thrown myself into building my tech consulting business. The beach house was my reward to myself after years of 80-hour work weeks and sacrificed vacations. Every detail, from the hand-picked marble countertops to the custom driftwood staircase, represented a milestone in my journey. My husband James, Victoria's older brother, knew how much this place meant to me. He'd been there through all the late nights and stressful projects that had made it possible. While we lived primarily in the city for work, this was our sanctuary, our escape from the world. Victoria, on the other hand, had never worked a day in her life. At 28, she still lived off her wealthy fiancé Richard's money and our in-laws' generosity. But I tried to be kind. She was family after all. Thanks, Victoria. We just finished the renovations last month, I replied, watching as she ran her perfectly manicured fingers along my custom-built shelving. Emma, she started, turning to face me with that sugary sweet expression she used when she wanted something. You know I'm getting married in 3 months. I nodded, already sensing where this was going. Victoria had been planning her dream wedding for almost a year now, each plan more extravagant than the last. Well, our venue just canceled on us. Can you believe it? They said something about structural issues, totally unprofessional. And when I saw this place, she gestured dramatically at the space around us. It would be absolutely perfect for the wedding. The ceremony could be on the beach, cocktail hour on the deck, and the reception in here. Please, Emma? You'd be saving my entire wedding. I hesitated. While the house was certainly large enough, hosting a wedding was a huge undertaking. Plus, Victoria's guest list was over 200 people. I don't know, Victoria. That's a lot of people, and we just finished the renovations. Please. She clasped her hands together. I'll take care of everything. You won't have to lift a finger. Richard's family will cover all the costs. It would mean so much to me. James, who had been quiet until now, squeezed my shoulder. It could be nice, Em, and it would help Victoria out of a tough spot. I looked at my husband's hopeful expression and his sister's pleading eyes. Maybe I was being too protective of the house. After all, what was family for if not to help each other? All right, I agreed reluctantly. But we need to set some ground rules. Victoria squealed and threw her arms around me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're the best sister-in-law ever. I promise you won't regret this. Oh, how wrong I was to believe that promise. The next 3 months were a whirlwind of wedding planning. True to her word, Victoria hired an army of wedding planners, decorators, and coordinators. But something fell off. She started showing up at the beach house unannounced, bringing different people each time, designers, caterers, florists. When I'd ask about these visits, she'd wave off my concerns. Don't worry about it, Emma. Everything's under control. Then came the renovations. Without consulting me, Victoria had workers come in to make minor adjustments to the house. They removed my carefully chosen artwork, repainted walls, and even started changing light fixtures. When I confronted her, she acted surprised by my concern. But Emma, we need the space to look perfect for the wedding. Besides, all these changes are improvements. You should be thanking me. James tried to mediate, but he'd always had a blind spot when it came to his sister. She's just excited about the wedding, Em. The changes aren't permanent. But something in Victoria's smile made me doubt that. 2 weeks before the wedding, I overheard her on the phone while she thought I wasn't home. I had stopped by the beach house to check on some deliveries, and her voice drifted down from the upper floor. Yes, everything's going according to plan, she was saying. The house will be perfect once it's mine. Emma has no idea. Of course I'm sure about the documents. Richard's lawyer handled everything. Yes, we'll reveal it at the wedding. It'll be too late for her to do anything then. My blood ran cold. What documents? What was she planning? I immediately called my lawyer, Sarah Matthews, who had handled all my property dealings. Sarah, I need you to check if there's been any activity regarding my beach house, any documents filed, changes in registration, anything. Sarah called back within an hour, her voice serious. Emma, you need to come to my office right now. There's something you need to see. The documents Sarah showed me made my head spin. Somehow, Victoria had filed paperwork claiming that I had gifted her the beach house as a wedding present. She had forged my signature on multiple documents, including a transfer of deed. This is insane, I exclaimed. She can't just steal my house. Sarah adjusted her glasses. The documents are obviously forged, but if she tries to make any moves with these, it could create legal complications. We need to be strategic about how we handle this. For the next 2 weeks, I played along, acting as if everything was normal. Victoria continued her wedding preparations, growing more confident and condescending with each passing day. I documented everything, gathered security camera footage of her unauthorized visits, and worked with Sarah to prepare our response. The day of the wedding arrived bright and clear. The beach house had been transformed into Victoria's vision of a luxury wedding venue, with white flowers everywhere and crystal chandeliers hanging from specially installed fixtures. The ceremony on the beach went smoothly, and soon all 200 guests were gathered in my renovated living room for the reception. That's when Victoria made her move. Everyone, may I have your attention, please? She clinked her glass, standing next to Richard at the main table. I have a special announcement to make. As you all know, we're celebrating our love in this beautiful house today. What you don't know is that this is actually our house. A murmur went through the crowd as Victoria continued, her voice dripping with false sweetness. Yes, my dear sister-in-law Emma has generously gifted us this amazing property as a wedding present. We're so excited to announce that this will be our new home. The guests applauded, while my in-laws beamed proudly. James looked confused, turning to me with questions in his eyes. I stood up slowly, my heart pounding but my voice steady. Actually, Victoria, I have something to show everyone too. Sarah, right on cue, walked in with a police officer and 2 FBI agents. You see, what Victoria didn't know was that I had installed a state-of-the-art security system in the beach house, complete with audio and video recording throughout the common areas. Every conversation she'd had about her scheme, every meeting with people to forge documents, everything had been recorded. Victoria Thompson, the FBI agent announced, you're under arrest for attempted property fraud, forgery of official documents, and conspiracy to commit fraud. The room erupted in chaos. Victoria's face turned from smug superiority to shock to terror in seconds. You can't do this, she shrieked. It's my wedding day. Actually, I said calmly, pulling out a folder. I can. Here's evidence of every forged document, every conversation you had about stealing my house, and statements from the people you hired to help you commit fraud. Some of them were quite willing to cooperate when they learned they might be implicated. Richard, who apparently had no idea about his bride's scheme, looked horrified. His family, prominent in the legal community, quickly distanced themselves from the situation. Victoria's perfect wedding dissolved into the spectacle of her being led away in handcuffs, her expensive white dress contrasting starkly with the metal restraints. James approached me afterward, his face a mask of shame and regret. Emma, I had no idea. I'm so sorry. I should have listened to your concerns about Victoria. I squeezed his hand. I know you didn't know. But from now on, we need to be more careful about who we trust, even family. The aftermath was messy, as family scandals usually are. Victoria faced serious criminal charges, eventually accepting a plea deal that included restitution payments and probation. Richard broke off their relationship, unwilling to tie himself to someone who would commit such fraud. My in-laws were humiliated, especially when they learned how their daughter had planned to deceive everyone. As for the beach house, I had all of Victoria's improvements removed, returning it to the peaceful sanctuary it was meant to be. James and I spent weeks restoring every detail she had changed, making it ours again. One evening, as we sat on the deck watching the sunset, James turned to me. You could have stopped the wedding before it even happened. Why did you let it go through? I sipped my wine thoughtfully. Because sometimes people need to face the consequences of their actions in a way they can't ignore or explain away. Victoria needed to learn that she can't take what isn't hers, and sometimes the best lessons are the most public ones. The waves crashed against the shore, a soothing rhythm that had drawn me to this place from the beginning. My beach house stood behind us, still beautiful, still mine, a testament to the fact that hard work beats schemes and lies every time. Epilogue. Victoria's arrest made local headlines, effectively ending her social climbing aspirations. She was sentenced to 2 years of probation, mandatory counseling, and had to pay significant restitution for the damage done to my property. The experience seemed to finally teach her a lesson about consequences. She got a real job for the first time in her life and started therapy to address her entitled behavior. James and I strengthened our relationship through the ordeal, learning to communicate better and set clearer boundaries with family. We still enjoy our peaceful weekends at the beach house, though we're much more careful now about who gets invited. As for me, I expanded my consulting business, using my experience to help other people protect their assets from fraud. Sometimes the worst experiences lead to unexpected opportunities for growth. The beach house remains my sanctuary, but now it's also a symbol of standing up for what's right, even when it's difficult. Every time I walk through those doors, I'm reminded that some things in life are worth fighting for, and that the truth, no matter how uncomfortable, always finds its way to the surface.